we have to understand the way the mind works, even in relationships, in contexts, in the desire to be right, in order to introduce another notion. And sometimes you got to put your own defense away to do that. One time, I had a guy, he's a YPOer, not in Michigan, although this has now happened 3 times in Michigan, so you'll probably think you know who it is. And he said, you know, I'm the CEO and I think I need a president. And he's having all kinds of trouble because he's a real smart guy, like many YPOers are. And he says, why should I, he said, after this has been going on for months, well, the YPO buddies his foreign buddies are starting to say, you know what, you could do that. There's a lot of CEO and presidents. So he calls me up. I'm a peripatetic. When I'm on the phone, I have an earpiece in and I pace. If it's the summertime, I'm outside in the grounds. If it's wintertime, I'm going nuts in the house. And I'm standing next to the baby grand piano, and I stop. He says, so the guy said I could be president. You know, I'm pretty sure I could do it. Now listen to the sequence of my response. Because now we've got ego wrapped up in this besides, right? And I said, absolutely you could do it. First thing I did not attack the idea, gave it permission. Does that make sense? Absolutely could do it. I just have one question. If we can answer this question, we'll know if it's a good idea. You go, shoot. I said, well, if you submitted your resume today to be president of your company, would you hire you? I got a very warm FU back through the phone. Because we have the kind of relationship where he was saying, damn it. Okay, got it. Now I got to do all this work and find a president. Does that make sense? When you hear mind, how you respond to it determines whether it'll consider your notion. I knew I could be direct with this guy. But I had to take him to 35,000 feet. Yes, you could do it. You could do it. And he'd want to say, well, what is it I can't do? Well, what is it I can do? We're still talking about him being president. I took him out of the notion, made him the interviewer, and made him the candidate. And his mind went to that level of perspective, and he was able to see, not a good idea.
Anybody else have a burning desire to ask a question? Come on, guys. Thank you, Steve.
Give a context. One thing that a skill that astounds me, and maybe I need it more than anybody else, but I will tell him about what happened in a meeting, what so-and-so said, and so-and-so said, like 3 or 4 people, and I'll describe what was said and maybe what I said, and he will almost like he was sitting in the room and better understanding what was going on in the meeting than I was when I was sitting there. Can you describe how that happened? I'm such an idiot.
I know, right?
Now, you know what?
You're not alone, Steve. I have that same feeling.
For the video, if you paraphrase his question, because I don't know if the mic was able to pick him up.
Yeah. So Steve was saying that he sits on a phone call. He'll kind of dissect a meeting from the day before, and he'll repeat what happened around the room, including what he said. And Joe gets it like that, and it's like he was sitting in the room, and he makes you feel a little ignorant. That's my paraphrase, but was that fairly accurate paraphrase?
How does he do it?
How do you do it?
How do it? No. There's a couple things that happen. Number one is I'm not biased by your perspective in the room. I had no dog in the fight in the moment. I'm hearing the story. That's first. Secondly, you'll hear me ask some questions, clarifying questions. When someone presents to me, the first thing I do is I go into question mode. Would you agree? I mean, I want to know this. Did they say that? Was that their word or is that your word? And I go into that kind of an analytical detective mode. Thirdly, I break down the character of the animal and how they think. I can predict behavior. It's easy to predict behavior if you just pay attention to someone because they're going to do what they do. They're going to be who they are. And if you just understand that part, you can predict whether they're going to go there or there next. Or why they would say this when it's absolutely not in their best interest in the meeting. You're getting played. He really wants this. Tell me about this. And he'll tell me about that, and I can go, okay, red herring. So by just understanding people, you'd be amazed if you could just drop ego, sense of self, subjugate own personal narrative, and be fully and empathically in the moment with the other. What you can see. Because I'm not seeing the world through my definition. I'm trying to see it through theirs, empathically in the moment. See what they see, hear what they hear, feel what they feel, know what they know. Does it make sense? Is that helpful? It's still esoteric. I mean, you're not going to be able to walk out of here and do this, sorry. But that's my expertise.